Hello, I'd like to talk a little bit about my mindfulness practice that I've been practicing. Um, I've been trying to go into a Zen mind state throughout the day when I get distracted. A lot of it has to do with not having attachments to things like musical instruments, for example, and like simple things like just releasing stuckness, like when you get you have an idea, like if like I have to beat this part of this video game or something, and if you just like let go of it and say, I'm just not going to play this video game anymore, that can be like a simple psychotherapeutic strategy. And it's like any kind of stuckness, like, or if you say like I have to be able to play, I have to learn this song on this musical instrument, and that's another thing that can get you stuck. Just all these ideas about like what I have to achieve, or like even if it's like I'm an art, like if I'm painting or drawing and I'm doing some kind of art that's not working. If I can like release from that, then I can be more zen about it. So just noticing when I'm getting stuck, and then letting things go. I guess letting go of the things that need to be let go of. It's like getting the weeds out of a garden, so that the things that need to grow can grow without the weeds getting them. And so the mindfulness is really amazing because I can be in like a blissful meditative state for a lot of the day. And actually at certain parts throughout the day, I was putting my hands in the cosmic mudra position in my shirt, my sweatshirt, where people couldn't see, and I was like meditating with my hands in the cosmic mudra position in the middle of work. And that's a little bit funny to do, maybe not always appropriate, but I was doing it anyway, and it was kind of fun. And that's what I mean is like you can be mindful for more and more of the day, and some of the realizations, I really want to talk about these things. I don't know how to communicate them. Before I forget, it has to do with like the nature of how human conflict is. It's and how like two nations going to war with one another um, are both following their subjective idea of what's right, and there's no like universal arbiter of what's right in that sense. So um, that's why Buddhists are supposed to avoid politics, is because if you have, if you even like have any politics, you're not really Buddhist. Because the relationships between people in a mindful Buddhist way would not involve squabbling. So I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say. It's like when there's human conflict, all these things that we think are like separate from us and away from us, we could anyone could end up disabled, for instance, or I mean any that's why you have to have compassion. It's kind of hard to it's like hard to talk about. It's hard to know how to talk about it, but it's something which is like on my mind so much recently in my mindfulness meditation practice. It has to do with human conflict and the nature of two countries going to war against one another. And um, I have the thought process. I had it in my mind today a lot, and I don't know whether or not I'll be able to find a way to communicate it to any other humans. But the thought process is, I was looking at Carl Jung YouTube videos I was looking at a YouTube video of Jordan Peterson discussing Carl Jung's Red Book, which is probably my favorite book in the world, and I have a copy of it, but not the one with the drawings that he did. You can get that copy as well, but I don't have that copy. I've seen a copy of that, of the drawings, the mandala drawings that Carl Jung did in the Red Book. But that's what I'm talking about, is Jungian type realizations about the meaning of life and the afterlife. And I guess you kind of see that there is just one consciousness, and there's a bunch of different people, but there's just one mind. I guess you would say it like that, like there's one mind, one consciousness or one mind in the universe, and that there are different people, yet there's only one mind or one consciousness. And each individual person has all that potential within their psychology, within their psyche. Each individual person each individual person it's kind of, I really don't know if I'm going to find a way to artistically express the realizations, but the thought process has been there very clearly about something which is so hard to put into words, but it's and it's what everybody has always been trying to put into words, but it has to do with Jungian psychology and the nature of war and East Indian religious teachings regarding war, such as the Bhagavad Gita, and it's like the message. It's like when you see what is it? What it is I'm seeing that I'm like small and fallible and foolish and ignorant and deluded and greedy, and I'm seeing all of my negative qualities, and I'm seeing that everybody, the collective psyche of society and civilization, has these things that people. It's kind of like when you can tune into the idea that I really am. I don't know how to say it. It's like if you can face psychological death, which is like aloneness, and seeing that you will not be successful in communicating the essence of your psychology, and that you have to go in a direction which is not necessarily socially or culturally sanctioned, but it is the best thing for civilization and society, but people will not understand nor support or anything having to do with what your psychology is, what your psyche is. It's something which is, it is basically like, it's like you're leaving everyone behind. There's a chasm separating you from everybody else. You're going in a direction, and nobody can understand or help you. And it's what we're going to eventually experience when we pass away and leave our physical bodies. And it has to do with the beginning of the universe, like the Big Bang, and how it's not something which occurred at a different time, but is occurring at the time that is this time. And you get into thinking about how time can have no beginning because there would be no context in which it could begin. So then you wonder, well, that means this moment now is the Big Bang. And then you wonder what that means and how that could be. And there's a lot of things you can do to program your self-psychology, which is what psychotherapy is, I guess. And so you can program yourself by doing any little thing like writing little journal entries or simple little poems or something. Just little like ways of finding ways to create like meaning and love and positivity and things within your mind stream. And um, I just looked up at the amount of time that's elapsed and on this video, and it was exactly 11 minutes and 11 seconds, so I'll end it there.